Peace, brothers and sisters who have arrived here on this channel. This is the video that we have been expecting to show you for a long time. A video that we can confirm now. The end has finally come. We are watching before our eyes, possibly the World War III unfold right as we speak today. Because what we have been expecting for the past 2 years and more has just happened on Friday the 13th. And now we're watching big players watch this event just like we are watching, and eventually they will have to interfere, and this interference will lead to a whole global conflict. That's exactly what we were expecting for so long, and now we're watching it unfold. So I hope that you have your hopes up, because this will clearly lead us to a place out of this earth. Because the only way, the only safe way for you to be in this moment when this actually starts is out of here in the kingdom of our Father in heaven, as He promised to take us in the rapture of the church. Before I begin this awesome video that I have prepared for you guys for a while now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Ricardo Garcia. I make videos on the internet for over 7 years already, talking about the end times, watching the prophecies, watching celestial signs, watch what God has given us through all these 7 years of studies that we have been seeing. Watch through the lens of the Holy Spirit and the wisdom that He provides us, what we are seeing and watching, and how did we arrive here with all of the things that we received from God. So I highly encourage you to watch the English video playlist here, because there are many great information that I probably know that you haven't watched anywhere else. We have been receiving things that no other channel has received, and because of this wisdom that we have received, many things here are very clear, and they are a match for us to give us this information that we provide for you today. So I highly encourage you to watch the English video. We'll talk about the playlist in a while here, in a few minutes. But if you don't know here, this channel has a lot of great perils for you to watch, because we have been hitting key important events on key important dates that most channels out there don't know, because they are following Jewish tradition or Jewish views on calendar that is not quite correct. So just for an example here, very important videos here are those two here in blue that teach you how to perceive and see feast days because of the constellations in the skies and the sun and the moon, and teaches you what is Passover and why it is so important, because what happened this year fell on true Passover, but most of the whole world didn't recognize it because they were following Jewish tradition or Gregorian calendar, and that's a miss. But very important information that you have here. I highly encourage you to take a time and watch some videos here, because I know you will see something amazing from God. Okay? So I was to make this video for you guys. I was planning to make a video here on this weekend. And the video that I was planning to make this weekend was to warn you guys that Israel was about to attack. But I wasn't able to do this because it happened. The attack happened before I even created this video. So instead of warning you about the attack that actually happened, right? I'm going to make something even better now. So before this, we have to recap all that we have been seeing for the past 2 years, let's put it that way, because with this information in mind, you will see amazing things, guys. If we look at the big picture of everything that is happening here, you will see amazing things that God has been showing us that sometimes we take a while to put it all into one big perspective for us to see how close He is to get us and take us out of here. So, to begin this with, I want to tell you and remind you of the year 2024. In 2024, we saw the year of Esther. The year of Esther, I call it because of some very important things. Very important things, which is the exact same solar and lunar eclipses that happened in the story of Esther in 480 BC. They took place exactly on the same date in 2024. Besides, an asteroid called Esther crowned Virgo in the skies exactly on the month that Esther is crowned in the Bible, the month of Tevet, the 10th month. People missed this because they were following Jewish calendar again, but if you were following the true calendar, the calendar based on the position of the sun, moon, and stars, as we see the constellations being the months that the sun is pointing, something that I have been teaching you guys for a while now, you realized and recognized that the month that this asteroid called Esther crowned Virgo was exactly on the 10th month, the month of Tevet, the month that Esther is crowned in the book of Esther. So this was a major thing together with the solar and lunar eclipses that brought us here to 2024 being the year of Esther. Very important year. We were expecting the rapture. Many places there, many dates there, in the dates of Purim, in the dates of Passover, all of the dates that we usually already watch for high watch times to expect the rapture. Okay, so that was 2024, a very important moment for you to see. Guys, just before I continue here, is the microphone okay? I had some issue here with the microphone. I had to restart the computer and I believe it's a little bit low. If it's not, if it's good, just tell me on the chat and I try to fix it, okay? So let's continue here with our line of thought. So 2024, the year of Esther. Very important year, very significant, something that is unique and amazing celestially speaking and historically speaking. Now, in 2025, we saw the ultimate timeline. The ultimate timeline is something that for us, it became a rock solid base for us to believe the rapture being in 2025. Because with the ultimate timeline, we had confirmations through biblical, historical, and astronomical facts that this timeline is correct. And I have here in a big form for you guys to see. We have evidences in the Bible together with history, pointing here that the crucifixion happened on the year 32, and with that we also have a blood moon Passover on that year, perfectly aligning to the 32 AD Passover. We cannot go before this, as we were believing years before, because otherwise this timeline would already have failed. And we cannot believe on the 33 or 34 or more because the historical facts and the astronomical facts doesn't match. So the only year that matches with astronomical and historical data is 32 AD for being the crucifixion. Based on this, 2,000 years after that, we have the second coming being 2032, and 7 years prior to 2032, takes us to 2025. So very important moments and dates that we have been teaching with the ultimate timeline that we saw and discovered here in the beginning of 2025. This is a very crucial video for you to watch because the information here is simply amazing. You will see, and I built this timeline with you guys when I created this video, and it's here on my channel. One of the best videos that I have here. I have here the playlist here. One of the best videos is here. The Ultimate Timeline, 4 months ago. Very important. It's short, but it's precise. Very important video for you to watch. Okay, so 2025 was already a big year, the year after the year of Esther, and no, Esther is hidden in the Bible. We know that Esther is the wedding, the 180 years of 180 days of feasts. So we know that Esther is a lot connected to the bride of Christ. And then we saw the ultimate timeline confirmation in 2025. So we were expecting major events for this year, waiting for something to point to the rapture of the church. And then we had this happening in April. In April, we saw Pope Leon XIV emerge, come into to replace the Pope that has passed. And Pope Leon, that was to be named John, as we were expecting, because the next Pope was to be a John the Baptist for the Antichrist, just like we were expecting. And this Pope here was chosen exactly on the Nisan 10. Nisan 10 is the 10th day of the first month for the Bible, which is the day that the lamb is chosen. The lamb to be sacrificed is chosen. Exactly on Nisan, the first month, is when John the Baptist started to baptize people. So this pope that is called Leon XIV was to be named John, just like John the Baptist came on Nisan, the first month, to baptize people. He came here on Nisan 10 as a lamb being chosen here to lead people or lead the Catholic Church to a uh, new order, let's put it that way. So very important, we were expecting the rapture to take place on Nisan 10, and on Nisan 10, he was chosen exactly. Most people miss this again because they are following Jewish calendar. They were following not the correct calendar as we teach, and they missed this. For them, it was the second month, as the Jews are seeing the second month. But truly, this is the first month, and that's why it all fits perfectly. And I have this video here for you to watch. It's also one of the best ones on my channel. Here, the rapture coming before the false prophets. We were expecting the rapture to come right before he was chosen. People were to be watching the church here, the Catholic Church in on earth as we leave. We didn't leave, but he was chosen exactly on the day we were expecting. Very important video here for you to watch. After April 2025, a new discovery took place in May 2025 that was recent and very important. In May 2025, we saw the connection between 1948 and 2032. This is very important, guys, very important because 1948 was the independence of Israel. So the connection between the year of Israel's independence with 2032, which from the ultimate timeline is to be the date that Christ is crowned and the millennium kingdom starts, that's very important. That's very crucial. So this information we discovered after the ultimate timeline. We saw there on this video that I also have it here for you guys to watch. It's one of the previous video that I did on this channel. We saw here the skies being the same from 1948, and it will be the same as in 2032. Or in 2032 will be the same as in 1948. The exact position of the sun, the lunar and solar eclipses on the same date, just like we saw on Esther here, we're seeing the connection between 1948 and 2032. And 2032, we also will have a blood moon Passover, just like in Christ 32 AD. So this here was already something out of proportion here of confirmations for us. That's why we are so excited in expecting the rapture for this year. We have signs pointing to this. We have geopolitical events pointing to this. We have connections that we haven't seen and nobody talked about before. We have the ultimate timeline that is a solid rock base for us. And we are watching everything unfold. And we were expecting Israel to attack Iran because the tension was building up, building up, building up. It's been building up for 2 years, 2.5 years, even more. They have been attacked and attacked back, but it never went after that. But now we just saw it. We saw that this war has finally begun. We saw Israel attack Iran, Iran's nuclear facilities. And this is major because Iran was promising to threatening Israel to give a deadly attack if they did this, and they actually did. So everything that we were expecting for it to happen, it finally happened. And we were watching until now, many things take place there. I actually follow here a channel on Telegram here that has given us a lot of information. So I won't show you all here, but there are many, many things happening here as we speak. And he has been providing information for us here almost hourly. So we saw missiles hit both directions. We saw many things, people being hidden. We saw ultrasonic missiles. There are many things happening here in the war between these two countries. And this is major, guys. This is happening as we speak. We see um, boats from the US coming together the on the region there, on the Middle East. France has offered help. We are receiving Iran's is asking for help for their from their allies as well. So many things are happening. China sent something to Iran. We don't know. Everything is building up quickly, and we don't think that this will simply stop now. Just here, just a few minutes ago, embassy of the United States in Iraq was shot. So we are seeing here an escalation of events, and that's why I'm calling this that this probably is the start of World War III. This has finally been triggered. From now on, should be watching an escalation keep going up until more players are drawn into it. And why this is a World War III event? Because Israel ally is the United States. And because of NATO deals, Europe is also an ally to the United States. If the United States is attacked, Europe or NATO enters. So we know that Europe will also defend Israel because the United States will defend Israel. So we have this here in one side, and we know that Iran has been making exercises of war with Russia and China. So they are also connected there in a way, in a form. So we have major players and basically the whole world here being taken to this scenario, the scenario of war, the scenario that will most likely become a World War III. And this is major, guys. This is major because the World War III is going to be the worst war of them all. And I believe that nukes could be used because, well, that's exactly the narrative that Israel justified to attack Iran because Israel does not want Iran to have nukes, and they probably have some, or they will gather some from his allies. And this is very, very significant. If they didn't have here nukes, this wouldn't have happened, right? So because they do have it, then we know here that this that this is a very big deal. So, as we see all of this takes place, and we are watching the deals unfold, let's see some news here, right? So this was the news that I was holding on to give to pass on to you guys before the attack actually take place, right? So on June the 6th, Israel says it won't attack Iran while Trump holds the talks, and we know that this was um, a trap, right? Iran was denying the deal, but Israel was trapping Iran into believing this in order for the attack to be more precise, and this actually took place. Here, Germany deploys force abroad for the first time since World War II, the 31st of May. So, very significant news here that uh, people are not seeing because they are focused on Iran and Israel. What else? The 1st of June, Pentagon declares readiness to fight and win against China. So, we are seeing this before the attack in Israel, of Israel, right? Saudi Arabia warns Iran to strike nuclear deal with Trump or risk Israeli attack. Actually, 30th of May. That's why I was about to make a video for you guys. And it actually happened. They didn't accept the deal and they were attacked. Bad things could happen. Bad is World War III. Understand the escalation of threats between US and Russia. So Russia, US, China, everybody is being taken into this scenario, and the event that triggers it just happened. One here, 29th of May, US to begin mass production of nuclear bomb 24 times more powerful than the one dropped in Hiroshima. So, the 29th of May, weren't they expecting this? Weren't they preparing for this? Yes, they are. They were. They knew this would have happened eventually, and it did. NATO troops in Ukraine could trigger a new world war, the 4th of May. Don't you think Russia will take this opportunity to take over Ukraine or other countries around Ukraine and NATO be drawn into it? Don't you think China will take this opportunity to actually strike Taiwan and hit their objectives? As we saw, and I spoke about it also on this video here 2 months ago, all objectives are ready. I talked about this. Russia wants Ukraine and close countries there to Russia. China wants Taiwan, and the US is helping the Israel against Iran and the Middle East there because of the Persian Gulf, right? The Strait of Haman there. So there are many objectives that they all want, and this is opportunity for them to actually do it. So we're seeing all of this has been building up for a while now. It's not just in June it this simply happened. No, it has been building up for a long, long, long time. And it now just finally started. Israel preparing to strike Iran nuclear facility even as Trump tries to negotiate deal. May the 21st. This actually happened. But the best one I left for the last, which is this. Like a lion rises up. Bible verse in Netanyahu's Western Wall, note inspired the operation name. So Israel's operation name to strike Iran is in Hebrew, of course, called like a lion rises up. Like a Pope lion 14 rises up. The Pope called lion did just rise up in April. Guys, everything is connected. Everything is matching up perfectly. We are seeing the end. Especially because Israel attacked Iran, and Iran used to be Persia. Remember? Persia is the uh, country that the story of Esther took place. So everything is connected. The ultimate timeline with 2025, Pope Leon, the Operation Leon or Lion, the independence of Israel, that right now, 7 years before, has begun, a war has started, and the World War II was happening with Israel being the center of it in 1941, 7 years before their independence, and now we're at 2025, 7 years before the Millennium Kingdom, and Israel's is in the middle, starting World War III, and in 2024 we saw the solar and lunar eclipses that were happening in the story of Esther. The last eclipse in October 2024, in October 400 BC, was the one that took Persia to war. And now we're seeing 2025, after the October eclipse that matched the eclipse in 480 BC, is taking Iran, which is Persia, to war. Guys, everything is connected. Everything is set. And we are in the middle of it, just waiting for that sign. Which sign? The sign that God will make to take us out of here. The rapture of the church is about to happen. Finally. Are you guys ready and excited about this? Because I am. I see this as a complete confirmation, and this is amazing. We are watching before our own eyes the end times come into place, and we are about to leave this earth. And I'm very happy that we're going to be leaving, because things will be tense, will be hard, will be very, very hard. Especially because 2 years ago, I spoke about this. 2 years ago, and I'm going to show some amazing things, guys. You probably don't remember, and I didn't even remember some of our videos that I did 2 years ago, but they match as well. And 2 years ago, I created this image for you guys. Is there a safe place, or will there be a safe place? No, there won't be a safe place on Earth. And I showed you this map. What's this map? This map is BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. All of this in dark red is BRICS. But now BRICS has +5. Now it's the 10 nations. BRICS is 10 nations, just like in the Bible. 10 nations will give the power to the Antichrist. BRICS now has 10 nations together with this major 5. We didn't know this back then, and now we know it's 10 nations. And we knew that they will rule the world because they are serving what? The red dragon. They are serving China. They are serving the enemy. They are the red nations. They are the communists, the Islamists, those that will persecute those Christians in the tribulation. And what will happen to America and Europe, which are allies to Israel? What will happen to them? Well, 2 years ago, we imagined that they would be out of the end time scenario, possibly through a bomb. And the bombs will most likely be nukes. They will most likely be a retribution to what happened in Japan in 1945, like Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They will most likely be retributions, but will be much worse, because America and Europe, the Greek, right? The Greek cannot simply be here while the end is taking place. So this is very, very important for you to see and realize that we talked about this 2 years ago. 2 years ago. And to show you guys this, let's just go towards the playlist of videos here, because there are many good videos that you can take from here. So we were seeing here before this, we're expecting many things and many dates to take place. So here in 2024, we talked about here Iran, the conflict that will lead to the third temple. So Iran and Israel, escalation here already a year ago. We're seeing things in the skies. We're seeing here the year of Aster we discovered here. So the videos are here. Now, this is a very important one. I'm going to just place this here for us to follow up. And then 2 years ago, in 2023, We were watching also many things, but I want to take you to this videos here. Those videos here that are very important. So the first one is this. So this video I did 1 year ago in June 20. June the 20th of 2023. So exactly 2 years ago, the same month, June the 20th. And I want you to quickly watch with me some important things that I said and showed here on this video. I was just watching before making this video for you guys, and I was amazed because things do match perfectly. So let's watch. Very good information that points towards a very huge event about to happen here on Earth. We have been receiving information from many places that are also showing us that some form of a huge false flag event or an EMP event will end up happening very, very shortly on Earth. Why do I say this? Because we are approaching the end. We are approaching the moment of the rapture of the church. And that's a huge thing that will happen, that will change the way that we see the world as we know right now. So this huge incoming event, you are seeing movements all over the world that shows that we are about to get to it. So how the world will be after the event. You are seeing here a small image of what is going to happen right after this huge event take place in the world. People will be scared, people will be in panic, people will go to markets and they will try to buy or try to just grab as much items that they need as fast as they can, just like an apocalypse event, just like on a movie. And for you guys to have an idea here, I have this movie called World War Z, where you have just a basic idea of how the world will be after this huge event that is about to take place on Earth. So I cannot put the whole scene here, but just small bits for you to see what will happen. So you see people here running towards the market, running towards the pharmacy to take places, to take items, the family here together, but you see this is not a safe place anymore. And they end up here running, everybody's stealing, everybody's taking stuff. That's something that will happen in this world everywhere once this huge event that I believe will be some kind of EMP event takes place on Earth. So you're seeing here people just trying to take as many items as they can. You see the families are desperate, in panic mode. They're especially those that have been left behind. So this is another scene of this movie called This Is the End. And they shows us how the rapture may look like. So huge earthquake, people just falling over here. And then suddenly, as we expect here, light beams from the sky takes certain people out of this place that will be basically dominated by the evil spirits and the evil one, which is the enemy. So you see here lights coming from the skies, then amidst all this chaos, took the microphone out, so I was talking to you guys, and you guys weren't watching, weren't listening to me. But are you guys able to watch, to listen to what I was saying here in the video? We see light beams coming and getting certain people here towards heaven. So let me just speed up this scene here. So you guys can see people are taking to heaven. This here will most likely look like for people of the world as an alien invasion, as some kind of live. It's live on my channel. There are many things that I spoke here very interesting about the movie World War Z, which is something that we are just about to watch because of this. And now this is how the Rapture may look like. And then we were seeing some interesting events there taking place. One is is something that I really want to show you guys. It's about this scene here for this movie that was released on June 21st, 2023, called Secret Invasion. And this is simply amazing. See if you guys can at least hear what I was saying here in the video. It's about to happen in tomorrow, June 21st. The series is called Secret Invasion. So you see that they are preparing the masses to understand, to believe in this alien invasion, in this abduction. And you see here in the trailer that they show this light beam as well here, Marvel Studios. And then they point here like aliens are coming, secret invasion of the Earth. They show here some kind of attacks here. Here I believe it's Russia, so it is connected. So look at this, take a look. We probably didn't remember that something happened in Russia that began many things here. So in this movie 2 years ago, remember they create movies to orchestrate events in the future. So as we were seeing this in June 2023, of course, this wouldn't have happened in June 2023. But now we're in June 2025 and we now have a great excuse for something like this to take place in Russia. Right now, we can expect what we call false flag events. What are false flag events? They are events that they take place on Earth or on specific nations that justify the act of this nation towards another. So, Pearl Harbor as an example, Pearl Harbor. We know that the US most likely had the idea of this attack from Japan, but they let this happen in order for it to justify the United States to enter World War II. We also have the September on the day that is 11. We know that this was most likely a false flag event, something that they either allowed it or they planned this in order to justify Iraq's war. So we know that the US is known to do this. So what if an EMP happens in the US? Then it takes us to another movie, the movie called Leave the World Behind from Barack Obama, that takes place with a cyber attack across the country. We know Iran is known for cyber attacks. So what if this simply takes place as a false flag event in the US and justify the US to enter Iran's war? So right now, as we see these things being unfold before our eyes, it's very easy for us to expect something like this. Expect something called false flag events that will trigger war between big nations. So in this video here that I showed there in 2023, there was a false flag event in Russia. What if it happens in Russia? It will justify Russia to attack Israel. And everything unfolds. So right now, we are watching something that may open doors for false flag events to justify other acts. So here, you can watch this whole video here on my channel. It's simply amazing. So Secret Invasion in June 21st. And then I showed about another here uh, scene that triggers a major power event. Um, on here the movie, and then there's this movie called Asteroid Day, June 23rd. And if you flip the 6 to the 9, becomes September 23rd. September 23rd in this year 2025 will be the Rosh Hashanah for the Jews. It will be exactly Feast of Trumpets for the Jews. They are 1 month ahead, but still interesting. The June 21st. And here in this movie, they also show things like things like power going out, meteorite impact. They showed this cloud here that is reminded us of something like a nuclear bomb. And this is the video I did 2 years ago, and I was talking about this amazing information that could be happening right now, could be the moment right now. So we know also the storm was the calm before the storm, the first Trump um, run. Then Biden said the storm is coming, and now the storm is here. The storm started. The storm is right here. They were showing things like this back in the day. Russia to deploy tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus in July. That's why the next one was about this. And there were many things taking place, and we were watching and telling about the movies about this all the way back in 2023. And now we were watching actually something take place to justify this. What else? Another one. This is a very important video that I made also in June the 9th, 2023, because they were expecting and creating the Mark of the Beast, the system for the Mark of the Beast. And we forgot this as well, but the system is already ready, and the HWO agrees. The treaty, they created this in 2023, guys. A digital system to cover everybody in the whole world through this, the Mark of the Beast. But now in April, they finally agreed with this. So this video just became more important. Let's try to watch this a little bit. From the HWO that has just been launched. So you can see here that conspiracy theories was proven right again, because HWO rolls out the certification for the health passport. So they've been trying to do a treaty for all the countries to be together running. So in 2023, they began the negotiations for this treaty, and it passed, and it's now being agreed upon. So this that took place and started in 2023 now has just gained a little way more relevancy, because something that they did all the way back in 2023, now it's legally binding. So the countries that are within HWO will have to accept this form of surveillance worldwide to see who receives and who does not receive the Mark of the Beast by the HWO, so they have been doing negotiations for it. Problem treaty, that's how they would function in all the countries that are inside HWO. And they just released this here, the following: the Global Digital Health Certification Network. So they just released this on June the 6th, and this network will be the network that will be worldwide enough to certify that somebody has received or not that which they will force eventually people to receive, which is going to be the Mark of the Beast. So I have one more news here about this. The World Health Organization is to adopt Europe's passport for these global digital health systems. So they adopted it, and now they were doing conversations and negotiations, and now this is up. People forgot it, but this is up. This is correct. This is already sealed. They agreed upon. So the next problem that may rise from this whole series of events will take us to an obligatory worldwide digital health system that HWO will enforce the countries that agreed and are within HWO. So this is simply a confirmation for us that the Mark of the Beast will be enforced very, very soon. Who knows? Because of the events of this year, soon they eventually will have a new health issue. It is common. And because of this health issue, then HWO steps in and force people to receive something that won't hurt them too much, like a needle, but it will be more like a patch that leaves a light on, like a micro needle, right? and that's exactly what they are building. So I won't give you the whole video to watch, but you can watch this on my channel. I don't know how YouTube haven't took this out yet, but this is very significant for you guys to see, because this will be the mark of the beast, and I have been telling you guys for a long time, long time. It will be something like
the mark of the beast. You'll be branded like this with mining.
You'll be branded like this with this. Somebody said in the chat, Lucifer rays is the name of the light that penetrates the skin, and that leaves a QR code.
And tiny micro needles, and this will be exactly a QR code that shows that you are marked.
So this is going to be the mark of the beast. I told this all the way back in 2020, 2021. I lost the channel because I spoke about this. I have some videos in BitChute because of this. But yeah, this is it. This is the mark of the beast. And HWO just confirmed the treaty. So they are allowed to enforce this. This will leave here the thing, right? I won't show this too much. You can watch this whole video here on my channel. It's still there. But this clearly is the mark of the beast. People started to tattoo their bodies with QR codes. And that's exactly going to be it. QR codes will be adhesive patches that will be the mark of the beast. See here on the rat. On the rat here, the example. He applies to the rat the patch. And after he applies the patch, it's become visible there in the skin. So he applies, and then it's on the rat. It's going to be a QR code, unique for everybody in the earth. So the mark of the beast approved because the treaty was approved. So everything we are seeing here, everything we're seeing, lead us to tribulation is coming. If tribulation is coming, we are leaving. And if we're leaving, and we know that 2032 will be 2,000 years since his death and resurrection, and this is confirmed by many things, and we're seeing Israel and Persia, war has begun after the year of Esther, so we can expect to be leaving very soon, guys, very soon. Now I'm going to talk about when. When could this take place? Because we have been expecting this, but when could this take place? So I showed you on my previous video this timeline. We were expecting something to happen on June the 1st because we discovered that 2,520 days from the Passover crowning of Christ on April 25th, 2022 is June the 1st. The Jewish wrong date for Shavuot, but the true independence of Israel of 77 years. So we were expecting something to happen in that place. It didn't happen. So let's fix this and open up this rapture window for us to see all the possibilities within the time frame that we got based on the evidences that we are watching. So 135 days before the 7 years covenant that I believe has got to start up to the Feast of Trumpets of this year is second Passover, June the 10th. We passed this date already, so it didn't take place, the rapture there. So let's move to the next one, True Shavuot, being on 7/11, July the 11th. This one, I really like it. I really like it because the true Shavuot date will be a very important date, because the Shavuot we consider to be the date that Christ ascended into heaven. We consider to be the date that God went down on the mountain, Mount Sinai, and the earth shook. The earth shook, the mountain tremble and sounds of trumpets were sound, and the Israelites there in the desert, they heard the voice of God uh, telling them the Ten Commandments audibly. And this Shavuot feast is one of the three feasts, main feasts for the Jews, for the Bible, that God asks them to come to Jerusalem. So Passover is one, Shavuot the second one, and Tabernacles is the third one. All those feasts happens in the true full moon, and this is a very important key event that took place all the way in the story of Moses. God appeared, God talked, God requires us to be with him, go towards him in Jerusalem. And there were trumpet sounds, there were earthquakes, and it is the closest one to what we are seeing today. So I believe that this escalation could continue to go up and rise up to July the 11th, 7/11, and we could be leaving on the true Feast of Shavuot. That's very likely, and it's the next one in our high watch dates. Because of all the story about Shavuot, I really like this date right now, and I don't think that the situation between Israel and Iran and Persia will de-escalate somehow, because I believe it's game on. It's already started, and the full war has already started. I don't know how this would stop and de-escalate. It's very unlikely based on all of this year that we were watching these signs and things happen. So I believe it will continue to escalate up to a point that we leave by July 11th. That's my best case scenario here right now. We leave on or before July the 11th, up to that date, very important date. If we pass, somehow we're still here, we will watch the Jewish Wine Pentecost. I know that Dr. Barry All will see this as a major event, major date, August the 2nd there. It's very interesting because August the 3rd for the Jews will be the 9th of Av. So it could be there. If we pass July the 11th, we will watch August as the true feast of Pentecost for the wrong calendar of the Jews. It could take place here on August the 1st, 2nd, up to the 3rd or 4th. August, the beginning of August, very important dates there for the Jewish one Pentecost. But for the true calendar, we will be on the 4th month, not on the month of Av, which is the wine Pentecost. The true date for Pentecost, the true wine Pentecost, takes place 50 days before the true Feast of Trumpets, which is September the 1st. And that for me is the longest, the farthest that we can go. Because after that, we don't have major feasts that are at least 40 days before October 23rd. So for me, we either leave here on True Shavuot, which will be something amazing, could be on the wine Pentecost for the Jews because it's their 9th of Av, so it could happen there. If it's not, could be on the true Pentecost, which would be the true 9th of Av the following day, 1st of September and 2nd of September, 3rd of September there. Very important. On September, we know that there will be a solar eclipse right before the Feast of Trumpets for the Jews. But that's already 30 days before October 23rd, and I believe there must be at least 40 days before the beginning of the covenant of the tribulation. I really don't think that we would wait all the way until trumpets, Jewish trumpets, to leave because the things are rising rapidly, right? It's like this. It's like a graph like this. We are living right now nowadays, but as soon as the tribulation starts, it will rise up. Chaos will rise up to a point that it will become unlivable all the way in the top. I still need to talk about this graph in a different video. If we have time, I will talk about this. But for now, let's just leave it here. I believe True Shavuot would be an awesome date for us to leave. It complies with the escalation going up to July, and it matches perfectly. That could be the date here. So for me, the best case scenario would be it will be here. The best case scenario for us to live right here about 100 days before. There will give enough time for the Antichrist to rise among the chaos, and after the 40 days of of the rapture, then there are some preparation for the covenant here taking place on October 23rd, or even on the Jewish trumpets here, right? Could be happening the covenant here. So will be there's a lot of time for us if that's the thing. If not, we're going to watch here the Jewish Pentecost. Could be here because it's the Jewish ninth of Av, but that's less likely for me than the true one, which will be closer. But that's the farthest that we can understand and go because that's already September, and we know things start in September highly. So true Shavuot, then wine Pentecost in August for the Jews, and then true wine Pentecost in September. Those are the three major dates for us to watch based on what is happening in the world right now. So get hyped up, get excited because we might be leaving. I thank you all for being here with me, for listening, for watching, for being excited about the rapture of the church. I pray that the Holy Spirit fills all of you that are here, that are watching, and prepare your hearts to leave. Even if some bombs do actually fall and we're still here, don't be scared. We know that God will take us out of here when the time is right, and we are watching the high dates for Him to take us out. But major things could happen. Major things could happen, and we will still be here. So just watch, like this chaos here. We're still on the nowadays, but things could escalate here, and we'll still be here, still be somewhat livable. It's not the tribulation. The rapture happens before the tribulation, not before chaos. So chaos could happen. Bombs could happen. Imagine people in Ukraine. They expected the rapture before the war in Ukraine, but the rapture didn't come. And a lot of people have passed away in Ukraine waiting for the rapture, and the rapture didn't come. The rapture is not to take us out of chaos, it's to take us out of the tribulation in the correct time frame. And these are good scenarios for us to live here. So don't be afraid of chaos. Don't be afraid of things happening in the world and we being still here. Because we know we will leave when the time is right, and it's before the true chaos, which is the tribulation. All right? So thank you all for watching this video. If you want to bless me and my family and some brothers and sisters having trouble and struggling to survive here in Brazil, financially speaking, the links are in the description box of this video. I thank you all who helped us here because things are not easy, let's put it that way, on this country that keeps on increasing taxes and making our lives very difficult. So I thank you all who are led by the Holy Spirit to bless our lives and bless the lives of Brazilian people here watching our videos as well. I won't, I'm sorry, here on the chat, I just read your comment. I won't talk about this again, the things about the month being off, because it's already perfectly presented here on my channel. Just watch the videos here. These two videos here. You always miss biblical feasts if you don't have this knowledge, and major confirmations of the 14 days of the rapture. Those two videos here explains perfectly how we see the calendars and why they are 1 month off. Very important videos for you to understand. Thank you so much for everybody that's been here. God may bless every one of you, and I pray for the Holy Spirit to lead us closer and closer to God as we are moving towards this chaotic scenario. Amen. Maranatha, I hope that you're blessed, and I hope that I see each one of you there in the kingdom of our God and Savior Jesus Christ when the trumpet actually sounds. Amen. Maranatha, guys. Maranatha.